Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hope you had a nice sleep last night. What we're going to do today is we're going to talk a little bit about argumentation, argument building. So, can anyone give me an example of an argument for good morning, and tell me what an argument is, or just make an argument? Anyone? All right. What would you say if I would say that there's a motion which says this House believes that China should not end its one-child policy? Would there be any thoughts on that? Anyone? Alan, what do you think? You have to have an opinion. You don't have to, but I guess you do. Do you have any thoughts on whether or not one-child policy is a good thing in China or not? I mean, it's fine, I'm sleepy as well, but let's do this thing. I'm not going to, just hold a lecture, you just write it down, there's a word that way, so well, let's try to communicate. Anybody? Alright, this house believes that basketball is the best sport in the world. No thoughts whatsoever. Right. Do you think that we use arguments all the time when we talk, like in our everyday lives with our friends, or when we argue with our parents, or whatever? Right? When we talk to people, different people throughout our everyday lives, do you think that we use argumentation all the time? No? Possible? Anyone else? Okay, what is an argument? Like one argument, what is it? Yeah, I mean, I could have left. I could have stayed in my room and sleep as well. So, if you're all going to be sleepy and silent, that's fine. I can go outside and have a coffee and smoke. That's good. But if we're going to do this, let's do this together. So, what is an argument? Go, take a shot. Okay. It's a way to express our ideas. Which way? I mean, why is that different to any other form of sentence, several sentences? Just a small talk. Why is an argument really different? Disagreement. Yeah, argument can be a disagreement. Like the argument, in terms of the argumentation, making an argument. Like a solid proof of something, or something. What is an argument? How do you make an argument? Give me an example. On anything. What do you think is an argument? Okay, that's very good. That's a very good, way of framing it. Any example?
So on the topic about the one-child policy.
Any example?
Okay.
That was just.
I'll take an example. I don't think the one-child policy is a very good policy because in China, many children go outside to trees for the wells and leave their parents at home. So if they leave their home, they will leave their parents alone.
Okay.
So their parents wouldn't be fertile very well. So it's not good for them to go out to leave their one-child policy to always be one.
Because parents will be alone.
Cannot be fertile.
Okay. In order to make a good argument, there's one thing you need to do. Tell me why is that bad? Why is it bad for parents to be alone?
So no one is fertile there. And they are sometimes they will feel lonely, and their personal safety cannot be guaranteed in a good way.
Because of the security and because they don't feel lonely. That's all. Cool. Anyone else? I mean, come on, like we all the time, like we argue with different people, we argue with our friends about different stuff. Just an example of an argument. This was a good one. Do we have any other example of an argument? Any example? So, okay, for instance, do you think that it's good to kill people? Is it okay to kill people? No? Why not? Why is it not okay to kill people? I'm serious. Yeah, we have an idea. Okay, so because the right of living is given by nature, no one else has the right to, terminate that right. Okay. Any other example why it's a bad idea to kill people, or why do we have a right to life? Yes. Yeah, okay, what if I don't care about myself? I just think there's too many of us in this planet, and I think that's fine. So, what is the counter-argument? Why do we have a right to life? Why do we punish people, put people in prison, people who are, doing such things?
Because it has threatened the public security.
Public security. We already agreed that that's not an issue. Why do we have a right to life?
The basic human right is that we shouldn't hurt others' interest in the world.
We shouldn't hurt other interests, but we don't allow people even to kill themselves, right? We don't in most of the biggest religions in the world, people don't want to give you a proper funeral if you killed yourself, right? So we also punish that. Why do we punish people who are taking other people's lives? Why do we think it's bad? They hurt others? Why is that bad?
Let me give you an example. If everyone like that thought, we think that man was not good, we'll kill her. Is everyone think that? How about this society to go on?
What would happen with our society if we wouldn't have the right to life?
It causes problems, just like the human rights. It hurts the human rights, and it also causes some abuse. It brings the principle of human beings.
All right. Anyone else? Do you think we would have a problem if we wouldn't have the right to life in any of our societies? there's 7 billion of us, maybe a bit more, right? In China, there's what, 1.4 billion people? You know, losing a few is not that bad. What would be the problem if we wouldn't have the right to life?
People live in scary.
People would be scared, okay? That's a pretty good one.
I think it's everyone's right or every creature's right to be able to live on the earth.
Yeah, okay.
So we have to respect that.
Why?
If you want to have that right for your own, you have to respect the same right for others.
Yeah, but I don't want necessarily, you know, to have any of my rights respected, let's say. I want to have, you know, my right to life respected, so why would I care?
Other people care.
Other people care. Why?
You don't know.
Because they're afraid?
It's a principle.
You can put your own thought on others. Maybe
They have a different opinion of that. Okay. Well, if it's simple, then
Principle. It's about a principle.
it's very simple. Well, if it's very simple, then
No, it's principle as a human beings.
okay. Do you think that any other right that we have in our societies would be worth if we didn't have the right to life? Right to, I don't know, freedom of speech, freedom of thought, freedom of movement, right to assemble, right to whatever, right? Right to education, right to whatever. Do you think anything of that would be worthy if we didn't have the right to life? Do I really care about my freedom of speech or, you know, freedom of economic freedom or whatever if I could be killed at any moment? And, you know, no one cares. Not really, right? Because the right to life is the only right we can all agree upon at all times. Because we all want to live. Because that's something inherent in us. Because we all hold the life sacred. I mean sacred not in terms of religious sacred, but it's very dear to us. And we really all want to live. Right? That's why we all have like health systems and supports and all that kind of stuff. Right? Right. Okay, back to the idea of what is an argument. When I would ask you like to make one argument for, you know, holding the life sacred and punishing people who take away other people's lives, what would it be? How about when people are scared? People would be scared. How would we make an argument out of that? Because people would be scared is a statement. It's an assertion. Now we need to make an argument. How do we make an argument out of it? No? No idea? Alright. The argument has, I mean, this is a very simplified version of it, right? But we have some sort of assertion or let's say statement. Which can be anything, right? You don't have to write this down. It's way more important to be present and to participate in the workshop. That's the way to learn. This is not a way to learn, right? Just a way of writing it down on a piece of paper is not going to help you, you know, be better in argumentation anytime tomorrow. but participating in the workshop, that might. Okay? So you don't have to write anything down. So the assertion can be, we should respect the right to life. The assertion can be, if we don't have a right to life, people are going to be scared. Our assertion can be, or statement. Right? Statement can be also from any other debate. One-child policy is a bad idea. Whatever, right? Anything that we say, one sentence that we claim, one claim is exactly that. Assertion or statement. That's the same thing. Right? So, how do we make an argument with this? What else do we need? Evidence! Woo! Evidence. Or illustration, right? When we have some sort of evidence, we have some sort of illustration as well. Is that true? If I provide you evidence, you sort of get a picture of what is going on. Right? It's some sort of illustration. Can example be an evidence?
Yes, I think the evidence can be analysis to explain the evidence.
Okay. Cool. How about right, so we have assertion or statement and we have evidence or illustration. Is that enough? What do you say? Analysis. Analysis is also fine, but like, what does the analysis mean in terms of your interpretation? Okay, logical strength. What would that be like? Can we call it like an explanation? This is one way of putting it. Assertion, evidence, and we have beautiful. So we have two techniques of making an argument. We have R and sexy, right? Assertion, reasoning, evidence, or statement, explanation, illustration. Right. Now you have 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Starting right now. Starting right now. To make an argument of your own. I'm just going to call you randomly and try not to have the same arguments. Right? 2 minutes. Off you go. Any topic, whatever you want, whatever you're interested in. I don't care. Like, just let me see you making an argument. Okay? Marvelous. Time's up. All right. Back row.
Visualize water, however, than purified water, because it contains a variety of health elements that is beneficial for human body, which purified water does not contain.
Woohoo! Okay. Argument.
One-child policy deprived the right of human beings first and deprived the right of parents. Because if they have the ability to raise more children and the government don't allow them to have babies, and their right of having babies have been deprived. And second, it deprived the right of children. You know, since the one-child policy has been taken, abortion is very common in the hospital, and some children they have lives. However, they must be given up, and it hurts the right of children, although they are not coming to this world yet. And last, this policy is not equal to everybody. It just affected to some part of the people. You know, in the countryside of China, many people don't care about this one-child policy. So I don't think this policy is a very good way to view the Chinese population problem.
Those are three arguments, not one. Those are three different arguments, right? Because you have three completely different reasons to say why you think that one-child policy is bad. So there's one reason which says it hurts the rights of parents to have kids. Then you have the idea that it hurts the right of kids. And then you have the third idea that it's not efficient because not all people respect it, right? So those are three different ideas. In all of them, you have a statement and you have some sort of the reason for the explanation. You don't really have the illustration or the evidence in any of those. Right? It's fine, it's great. You have three ideas like all of a sudden in 2 minutes. It's, good job. But you can make the whole debate speech out of it. That's not one argument, it's like a whole speech. There's three big and very important ideas, right? Which are pretty good. But just start to develop them and you just use one by one in terms of having the statement and then explanation and then some sort of evidence to support or some data to support it. Because just saying but not really everyone respects it or it really hurts kids' rights although they're not yet there. No. You may claim, that nobody chose them from that, not to come in this world. And not even their parents have chosen. It's the state that has chosen, right? And then you can claim the state does not have the right to terminate the pregnancy, right? And listen, are you? Get up. Tell us the argument. No, I don't care. Get up. Tell us the argument. Whichever.
I think college should make the class time later because if we have enough sleep time, we don't have enough energy to listen class.
Okay. Is that an argument?
Yeah.
It is. What is the statement? Is that college?
I'm sorry, I'm not going to parallel.
Well, I'm not sorry. Like, if we're going to be at the same place, you don't have to be here. So if you want to be here, you have to participate, okay? So just, just repeat what you said. That the college
should make its class time later.
Okay, so the classes should start later. That's the statement. What is the explanation?
Because we have some work to do till very late night. So if we don't have enough sleep time, we don't have energy.
And the evidence would be or the illustration would be? What would be the evidence or the illustration for that? Great. That's an argument, right? What else do we have?
We should not or we should allow? We should not ban gay couples to adopt children. Great, okay?
Because we are human beings, we deserve the right to have children. If we ban them to adopt children, it's kind of discrimination for them. Since why we just ban their human rights? Because we think that they cannot raise the children as well as the normal couple. Since we think of that, we discriminate them, and it will do harm to the society. It will do harm to their heart, and then will disorder the society.
Great. Okay. That is a great argument. Right. If we think of this, as an argument, right? What does it lack in order to be persuasive? We want people to listen to us, we want people to hear us, we want people to believe what we're saying, right? So our arguments have to be a little bit more than, just a raw fragmentation of what an argument is. What do we need? What do we need? Okay, let's use an example. Argument.
I think some people think Holy Brand like the radio slowly many people think Holy Brand can make radio both genius basketball player, but I think Holy is more better because his talent and Brady always care about her body and about his body and always give up many games.
So, Kobe Bryant is a better player than McGrady because he doesn't really care. Not that he doesn't care, because McGrady is very selfish and Kobe is very nice. He's like
McGrady is not selfish.
Here we have a debate. Right. We have an argument there. Go.
In the beginning of his career, McGrady may be selfish, but later when he's in Houston Rockets, he's not selfish. He gives many attention to his teammates, and he's selfish, and he's selfless.
But I think it's too late. Think about with Yao Ming. Always the whole team was just Yao Ming, and Yao Ming was very fair and family. He just take 8
Okay, great. So, in this short debate or discussion, who's better, what else did we have apart from the very, crude statement, explanation, or some sort of illustration? Did we have some sort of introduction to the story? We did, right? Okay. When we delivered the speech of 7 minutes, we also talk about a lot of different stuff, right? And we want people to remember stuff. How do we make them remember what we said? I mean, let's be very honest. Even when somebody, like, your best friend, or whatever, is speaking to you, you don't remember really everything that they say, right? You remember the most important stuff. Well, like, not everything, right? Nobody's remembering it. How do we make people remember what we said? Stress.
Sad.
So we yell at people and we're like holding the debate speech and be like, "Rah!" No? Not really, no, I don't think so. I would freak out if I would be judging that debate. I would probably, go away. I would just like leave the room. Is there any other technique than stress?
I think we should link back to the statement at last.
Okay. We should repeat the statement at the end.
Link back.
Okay, link back to the statement. That's a very good one. What else?
I mean, you can make a statement in a structured way. You can say first is technically, and you can come up with your system of 1, 2, 3, and they will make it clear.
Okay. So we have some sort of structure, right? Okay, that's very good. Is there anything else?
Some interesting examples.
Interesting example.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. We don't. If you're boring, not much use of you. Probably people won't remember what you say anyway. Right? So that's very true. What else?
We should use signal posts. So every reading point you make, and you should add some small summarize.
Right. So what do we miss? What do we miss in this structure of an argument? If this is an argument, what are we missing?
Background.
Background is a very good idea. What else? So we need some sort of background.
Link.
This needs to be colorful. Yay, this is background. Okay? I'm not very good at drawing. Whatever. We need some sort of background. What else do we need?
Policy. How to, if we give the argument, we should give our policy to support why we should do that. How to solve the problem.
Yeah, don't mix argumentation with modeling or giving a policy. For instance, when you're opening argument in debate, whatever, right? Or any other team in debate, it doesn't matter, right? But just one argument. How do we make one argument be really good, right? We have assertion, reasoning, evidence, or statement, explanation, illustration, whatever. Whichever of the two, we have two arguments. But what are we missing? Summary is fine, but summary can be in the end. What are we missing in terms of we need people to remember our arguments? So we can of course, we can link back, we can summarize, that's all fine. We already have some sort of background, so we have some sort of plot where the argument happens, or some sort of the environment in which argument works. That's all fine, right? Because we have a background story probably before the argument, some sort of like introduction or whatever, right? Or status quo explanation. Or the debate that happened before us. All of that creates a background. And that's fine. What are we missing in order to call people to remember what we said?
Connection.
Huh?
Connection.
Connections are here. This is the connection between this and this, or between this and this. So these are the connections. What else?
Yeah, I think to make connection to the audience.
To make a connection to the audience? Okay, that's fine. To tell it in such a way that people understand that? I mean, to say an argument in such a manner that people can grasp it. So people can understand.
No, let them consume.
No?
Yeah. Let them pay more attention to your arguments.
Okay, that's fine. How are we going to remind people that what we've said? How are we going to? I mean, I'm at the end of my speech, and I'm like, I was talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, right? People are not going to necessarily remember what was the first, what was the second, what was the third. I need to remind them of my 2 arguments or 3 arguments that I had in my speech. How do I do that? Emphasis. Highlight. Right. What do I highlight? I don't have time to repeat all of my argumentation at the beginning of my speech. No way.
The most important thing.
Most important things. That's fine. Is there any shorter way? What do you do when you open your laptop and you want to click to something? What do you use? Like on desktop, what do you usually have? You usually have quite a lot of shortcuts, right? And if you don't have shortcuts on your desktop you probably have it on the menu down there, right? So you have things which are like triggers, which remind you of start something, or in this case, remind you of things, right? So what is the shortcut that we miss? Think about this as verb present. Think about this. We didn't name or label for an argument, right? So for instance, if we want to talk about, all the three arguments, for instance, you have a more than one child policy, one would be on those babies have rights. One would be parents' rights, right? That's a name of an argument. So when we talk and when we have debate, so we have 5 arguments, or 3 arguments in our speech. And then in the end of our speech, like we say, Mr. Speaker or Madam Speaker. Here are the things we've talked about. We talked about parental rights, we talked about children's rights, and then we talked about, that the state should not be able to determine whether or not you're going to have one or more kids. And because of these reasons, we beg you to cooperate. Or because of these reasons, we would like you, we strongly stand in opposition to the proposition. Right? But we need some sort of trigger to remind people of what we were saying. And that's a very important thing in our education. One other thing. Okay. Which part do you think that is the most important part of your argument? What is the most important part of the argument? Exactly. Reason. Because can you make an argument without an evidence? So let's say in philosophical debate, which says this house believes that God does not exist. Do we have any evidence? Any evidence? Not really, right? But can we make an argument? You bet we can. Why is the reason the most important part of an argument? Okay, maybe we'll remind ourselves. Let us hear the example. Argument. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Football is better than basketball.
Let's see.
Because there are wider range of people watching it and playing it, and it's more popular in the world. What's more is kind of really people to be passionate, but always in control, and it kind of leads us to feel the spirit of team.
Okay.
Yes.
What do you think of this argument? What is the reason? Thank you very much. What is the reasoning for it? The reasoning is because it's more popular. That makes it better, right? That's some sort of reason. Is that fine? It's very subjective. Okay, how do we make it better?
Make some statistics.
Make some statistics. Okay, that's some sort of the evidence, right? We include that as reason, and then we say because it's evidence, therefore X. What else? I mean, that's very good. What else?
Maybe we should use something that everybody is right and to support the statement, because statement is not everybody's right. We use it reasoning to persuasive them to
Exactly. How would we? I mean, I completely agree, but how would we?
we use the crucial facts.
Okay, facts, statistics, that's fine. That's the evidence. How do we make reasoning better? Or explanation, whatever. How do we make logical connections between our arguments stronger? Somebody mentioned the analysis at one point of this lecture, right? What is the analysis? What did we say? What is the analysis? Yeah, just speak up next time. But yes. Yesterday we said the analysis is fine, even when we were talking about Kobe Bryant being the best basketball player in the world, right? Because we said that he's skillful, he has team, we had some sort of quite a lot of the evidence or, things that were claiming for him, and we were explaining more and more and more. The reasoning or the explanation can be very much strengthened or can be way stronger if you're explaining the logic step by step to someone. So when we say, for instance, the one-child policy is dumbass because it should be abandoned because the state should not have the right to determine how many kids are you going to have or to determine whether or not that particular baby is going to be born. That sounds very appealing. That sounds good. It sounds understandable to all of us. But in the debate, why? Why state shouldn't have the right to do that? I go from the op and I say, we think it does. Statement, statement. Same level of approach, right? Same goes for anything else. But a state should not have the right to interfere in our decision whether or not we're going to have our baby, or whether or not we're going to be having our child, whether or not that kid is going to be born. Because we gave that right to parents. Because we believe that parents know best. Right? Whatever. Any sort of explanation, but any sort of further explanation in terms of the reason is strengthening your argument. Right? And we have another example. For instance, what else do we have? Football is the best sport in the world, right? It's popular. Which means that most of the people in this planet are watching football. Which means that people gave their support to that sport. Which means that objectively, when we look at the statistics, right, most of the people see the merit and appreciate the value of the sport that we're talking about. And therefore, we believe that that sport is more valuable or better than one other sport. Right? I didn't say anything way smarter than she did. I didn't add any new idea or whatever, right? I just had more steps or more stuff to say on the same thing. She said it's very popular. Right? My explanation of that is that most of the people see the value. That's why it's popular. Because people don't watch things that they don't like, right? In their free time. Are you going to watch things that you don't like? Yo, this is a very bad movie, I'm not going to spend 2 hours of my time watching it. Right? That doesn't happen, right? So people watch stuff that they like, that they appreciate. And since it's popular, we can say that people see the value, that people see the merit. And if that's true, then we can say objectively that people set already, because people gave to football its popularity. People already decided that that's way better sport than any other, right? At least for watching. Make sense? Right. So, in order to make an argument stronger, try to have very big, like this part of reasoning or the explanation, try to make it agree with it. Right? There's one last trick that I'm going to tell you. So apart from the name or the label of the argument, right? So you make a name of the argument in the end. But first you have statement, explanation, reason, or statement, explanation, illustration, or assertion, evidence, reasoning, right? Okay? Apart from that, there's one other thing. Remember yesterday we were talking about principles and practical stuff, but we were talking about what is the principle behind, for instance, the law or is that or the other, right? There's one last thing. Each and every argument can be very down to earth and can be explained in very practical terms. So, for instance, right, the claim that football is the best sport in the world, very practical term would be very practical analysis of that argument or practical explanation of that argument would be it's very popular and all people watch football. That's fine, right? And we develop that argument. But in the upper level, right, in the level of principle, we can always say that because people watch football quite a lot, and because all the people spend their time, which is their valuable time, on sitting in front of the TV or going to a stadium to watch football, we believe that there is a value in football which is way greater than any other sport because it already consumes more of human life or human time than any other sport. So in that sense, we believe that it's way more valuable than any other sport. It's the same argument. One is down to the earth, the other one is upper and level of principles of how people give appreciation and value to things. Right? But it's practically the same thing. Right? That's called chunking up or chunking down. So, okay, one last thing. What do you need to remember? Statement?
Explanation and
okay, and? Or the other way around? Assertion? Reason? Okay, so we have two techniques, R and sexy. Is it good enough? I think sexy you will always remember probably, and if you can't remember sexy, then just say and probably you'll remember all the things. Okay? Right. Thank you very much.